Welcome back. It's CPMB Sport, teaching live from the nation's capital, and I'm still with Tom Aroko. Is very much with us virtually. Tom, let's flip over to Italy. It's disappointing that a team like the is it Azurico, how they call it? A team like the Italian team that won the World Cup 2006 cannot qualify for 3 consecutive. So we're even talking about Nigeria. I think look at Italy, how the mighty has fallen. 3 consecutive World Cup, they couldn't qualify, and guess who they bowed out to yesterday? So let me get your thought. What do you see? Is it that they need a total overhaul of that team, or is it that the system is failing?
It's quite unfortunate that a team like the Azuris, the Italian team that have won the World Cup 4 times. They won it in 1932 or 34, if I'm correct. I think 1938, 1982, and 2006. This is a side that have shown that they've had what it takes over time. And even when it comes to the qualifiers, they see it as a child's play. The issue for the Azuris has never been the World Cup qualifiers. It has always been, how do we make it to the quarterfinals first of the World Cup? Not even how do we qualify out of the group stages of the World Cup. It's how we make it to the quarterfinals of the World Cup. What we are seeing that the Azuris are facing the Italian side is the fact that they are having an institutional problem. I spoke to my friend in Italy yesterday, who is a sports loving fan and a football fan. So he was complaining. He said the Italians, the Super Eagles side did not qualify, and now the Italians as well did not qualify. And this is 12 years of not qualifying for the World Cup, which means maybe a child that was born from 2014 till now will not see the Italian team, go to the World Cup. It's quite unfortunate. That's from them. So I think that what the Italian side should be preparing for is the next World Cup, not this World Cup. They should look on to 2030. Because to me it's a sporting tragedy. You cannot have extremely good players on your team like Tonali. You have a lot of good players, and you cannot use them, especially for the pedigree of a country like Italy and the Azuris.
Tom, looking at, I think the game ended 1-1 normal time. Then they went on penalties against Bosnia. But is it time should we say Gattuso should go or stay? From your own opinion, should we say Gattuso should go or they should stay?
No. In my own opinion, Gattuso should go. I think it's time he goes. He brings this passion. He's like a firefighter. He brings this passion and grit. It's like he's trying to quench the fire. But I think what Italy really needs at this moment is an architect. They need somebody that's going to be building the team. They need someone to overhaul the whole tactical philosophy. It's outdated at this moment. I think that the Italian side, they are screaming for help silently. They are being choked, but they are screaming for help. And it's quite unfortunate. You can't fix a structural collapse, with this type of strategies that you see them use. What you need is a modern offensive midfield and defensive playbook that they can use, not the 1934, 1938, 1982 or 2006 playbook. This is football, and football is being modernized. This is not the time for them to be playing with this type of energy that they've been playing with.
Well, so how does Italy bounce back? How do you think they should? How can they bounce back from this? Because really, mentally, I think this is like a devastating blow already to the Italian side, because this is a team that have won the World Cup, like you rightly said, 3 times. I don't see any excuse why they shouldn't qualify for 2026, considering the fact that they've even increased the number of of team participating to 48.
When it comes to the Italian side, I think what they need is what a lot of people will call a year zero. They need a year zero approach, in my own opinion. They should not and what they should do is they should just try to rebuild the team. They should just be a year when they come in and they say, you know what, we are going to let go of Gattuso, we are going to bring someone new in, we are going to be rebuilding the team. They shouldn't be relying again on the old players that they had. They must prioritize on maybe developing their under 18 under 20, under 21 talent, and they should also force, or there should be laws that will force the Serie A club to give Italian young players or young stars, more minutes. They need to stop mourning that 2006, and they should start building for the 2030 from now, from 2026. My own opinion, I keep saying this, the Italian football system is broken. Serie A is one of the most best leagues in the world, with foreign stars. But the problem here is they have successfully disconnected themselves from the local players that they have. Most of the players that you see playing on the pitch are international players. Most of their home-based players are basically sitting on the bench, and it's affecting the national team's health. But I think that until the Football Federation, that's the IFGC, they mandate each team, to put some of their young players and say, you must give our home-based players a certain time on the pitch and reduce the time that these foreign players are being given. That until then will they, have a sustainable national team. Because when you look outside the international, when you look at the international, you realize that even Nigerians have more skilled players than the Italians on the national team. They should have an entire overhaul.
I think I understand what you are trying to say, because I think that's what the English FA also did to their league, because at every team, every club, you must have, I think, a number of English players that's going to be in that team. I think there's a clause like that. You have to then, I think, number of people playing on the pitch, they have something like that. And if you see that, to the best of my knowledge, I think that's really improved the English, considering the fact that they do PR to their players very, very well. So forget players, but PR. But I think that has really improved how they call it, the players that improve their performance so far, because they play week in, week out, and of course that will also help them to improve no matter what. And I think if the Italians can also adapt that into their system, I think they are going to do well. But from your own, as we round up, Tom, which of the managers do you think can take over Gattuso if they have to shop for a new manager? We have the likes of Pochettino, he's still out of job. But we hear that Zidane might be taking over at France if after the World Cup. So maybe that will be out of the radar. But we have coaches that are still unemployed. they are still jobless. Let me put it that way. So, what, from your own end, which one will you prefer, or should they just come for our own Eric Chell, as the case may be?
I think right now, when people have been saying who is going to replace Gattuso, it has been a very, very big debate. But a lot of people are looking at the big names. But I think when you look at people like Ranieri, he's often one of the best people. One of the people that a lot of Italians have said, let him replace Gattuso. I think he's currently the senior advisory, one of the senior advisory roles at Roma, and he turned down the job previously in 2025 to coach the Italian side. But I think right now, you are still looking at him to say, okay, let's put him on the bench and see what he can do on the Italian side. You're also looking at maybe someone like Daniel De Rossi, Stefano Chioli, the former AC Milan and current Amazon manager, a player that has been able to control big names, I think is a primary alternative for Gattuso, especially when Luciano Spalletti was sacked. I think he's seen as the viable tactical option, and he uses, what I like him is, he works with tactics. He doesn't say, okay, bring this big name, bring this for me. I don't think so. But when you look at someone else like Daniel De Rossi, to me, he's a younger option. From Italy's 2006 winning generation, who has been consistently mentioned as a potential future technical commissioner as well. So I think it's someone that can replace Gattuso on the international side, and not some of the names that you mentioned.
What do you mean? Do you mean that our own Osei Igboamo cannot coach Italy? Our Osei Igboamo can coach Italy now. Sunday Olise, we have them. Osei Igboamo, Daniel Mokachi, they can coach. Italy conveniently. There's no two ways about it. Thank you very much.
I think this is some comic relief. They are trying to do that. What's the relation between Ghana and
Of course, he has won the AFCON with as an assistant coach to the late Stephen Keshi. So who says he cannot coach Italy? But on a lighter note, thank you so much, and that's how that's a wrap on today's edition of PMB Sports Show. A big thank you to my in-house analyst Tom Aroko for the sharp insight and breakdown of the 2-2 draw between Nigeria and Jordan. Plenty to build on, but still a few questions for the Super Eagles moving forward. From the positive in attack to the concern at the back, it's clear the journey continues as the team looks to find their right balance. For more information, you can follow us on all social media platforms, on YouTube and Facebook at Politics and Business TV.English, on IG at PMBTV_English, on X at PMBTV_ENG. I'm Abel Sunday from me and the entire team here in Abuja. Goodbye.